Welcome back to the Cave of Science. Today we're going to look at cations and anions. A cation is a metal that donates one or more electrons to nonmetals. The metals become or have a positive charge, and some examples are iron, sodium, lead, magnesium. Those will all donate electrons. Anions, on the other hand, are nonmetals that accept one or more electrons from metals, and they have a negative charge, and such as oxygen, chlorine, and bromine. An ion, if you recall, is a charged atom. So you'll have a negative charge. That means it gained electrons, or an anion, or it lost electrons. So therefore, I have a positive charge as a cation. And the reason this happens is because metals and nonmetals want to be stable. They want to fulfill the octet rule. So let's take a look at a couple examples. So the first one we're going to look at is a sodium. Sodium is a metal, and sodium has an atomic number of 11. So therefore it's electrically neutral on the periodic table. So it's got 11 electrons. So let's go ahead and draw the picture here. And we got 2 electrons in the 1s. Then we go to the 2s and the 2p, which would be the second one. And if you recall, the 2s will have 2 electrons, and the 2p will have 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can go ahead and put those in. So the second energy level has a total of 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then in the 3s, it has only 1 electron. So we put in the third energy level, and let's make this a different color. It has this 1 electron that it wants to donate. So when we look at sodium, again, it wants to fulfill that octet rule. So the 1s is filled, and if you look in the second energy level, if we can get rid of 1 electron, we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we will have 8 electrons, and that is a very stable configuration for an atom. So what's going to happen is sodium is going to donate this electron is going to go to a nonmetal. So it's going to donate, or we want to think of it, the nonmetal is going to tear it apart or tear it to itself. Donate to nonmetal. So therefore, what ends up with the sodium, so sodium, and still got its 11 protons, its atomic number of 11, and it's got its 2 electrons in the 1s, and then in the second energy level, or second shell, it has 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But it lost this 1 electron, so now it has 11 protons and 10 electrons, so sodium's going to have a charge of +1. Now if it lost 2, then it would have, the element lost 2, then it would have a charge of a +2. So here we've got sodium has its 11 protons, and now it's got a 10 electrons, so it's going to have that +1 charge. And so when you look at the configuration, so we got the 1s, and we got the 2s. Oops. Let me go down. I'll write it down a little lower here. We have the 1s, we have the 2s, and we have the 2p. Notice now the 3s has no electrons because it got rid of this one. And again, that's its valence electrons, the electrons in the outermost energy level. So sodium will donate that to a nonmetal. All right, so let's take a look at a nonmetal. And let me see if I can scroll down a little bit. All right, so let's look at fluorine, which is an atomic number 9. So fluorine has an atomic number of 9. So that means it has 9 electrons. So we have the 1s, we have the 2s, we have the 2p, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So fluorine wants to get one more to complete the octet. So we can draw this in here. So first energy level, we have the 2. Second energy level, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So fluorine, as it stands on the periodic table, has 9 electrons and 9 protons. So it's got 9 protons and it's got its 9 electrons. So if we look at the outermost energy level of the valence shell, it's got 7, so it wants to pick up one more. So it's going to gain an electron from a metal. So if it gains that electron, it's going to have the configuration. It's still going to be 1s, 2s, 2s, 2p. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let's throw this in here in blue. Oops, it didn't change on me. Let's see if we get it to go. There we go. So it wants to pick up that one more electrons. So now, if you look, it's got 8 electrons in its outermost energy level. And then the fluorine picked up one electron, so it's going to have a charge of -1. So fluorine's going to have a charge of -1 on itself. Now if we go back and look at the diagram, we can do that. So we got fluorine, and then it's got 1, 2 in the first. And now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And it's going to pick up, it picked up this extra one, could be any of them. So now fluorine's got a charge of a -1. So when we look at these ions, the metals are going to lose, become positive ions or cations. Nonmetals are going to gain and become anions or negative ions. And they want to fulfill that octet rule, or 8 electrons in that valence shell. So these are just a couple brief examples. Hope this helps, and we'll see you next time.